Hey YouTube, so commonly I get asked by people with blind kids, should I send my kid to a blind school? Should they stay in their public school? What do you think? And my answer is, honestly, I can't answer that. Everyone's situation is so different. Some of it might depend on how much functional sight does your kid have. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean totals should definitely go to blind schools, and people that could drive with bioptics should stay at public schools. Not at all. That's one of many factors. What is your local school district like? I have been to several school districts in my life. My school districts in Texas were great. Noblesville in Indiana, fantastic. I've been to other school districts that haven't been so great, and that's not always the fault of the teachers. Oftentimes it's budgeting, it's resources, it's allocation. So please do not assume that I'm placing blame on all the teachers, because I'm totally not. Also, what is the blind school in your state like? Look at, reviews. Find out what their skills are, what their skills aren't. You might be really close to the blind school and your kid might be able to come home every night, or you might be further away and you might see them on the weekends. Find out how that works. Find out, what resources are there available to you. Find out, find out about your district's VI teacher, vision teacher, teacher of the visually impaired, whatever you want to call them. Don't be afraid to talk to them to see what kind of feelings you get from them, So, really, it's an individual decision. If your school district is not working for you and your kid, don't be afraid to make some noise. Complain, advocate. You are your kid's biggest advocate, and it's up to you to eventually teach your kid to advocate for themselves. With that being said, though, don't be afraid to look into a blind school if that is what is going to be best for your child. It's not giving up. It's not quitting. Sometimes they just have more resources than you do, and that's, again, completely valid. So don't feel like one option is always superior to the other option, because that's totally not the way it works. The biggest thing is communication and doing what's best for your kid, and remembering you can always change your mind. Your kid's not locked into public school for 12 years, nor are they locked into a blind school for 12 years. It might be that you want to do elementary school one place and middle and high school somewhere else, or vice versa. Or you send your kid to the blind school and 6 months into it, they're not coping. Or you put them into public school and after the first semester, it's a disaster. That's okay. You can change your plan. You're not locked in. Don't be afraid that, oh my God, I gotta make this very important decision and it's gonna greatly impact my kid's whole life, and if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong and I'm gonna fail. No. You can constantly readjust things. The biggest thing is to look at all the options, to look at your situation, your circumstance, and to go from there. I went to the Indiana School for the Blind. If anybody has any questions directly about that school, about what dorm life is like there, I'll be happy to tell you what my experience was, bearing in mind that was 10 years ago. I can't tell you the ins and outs of other blind schools because they all operate so differently. I can't tell you the ins and outs of what will be available for your child in school districts, because that really varies from district to district. What I will say is maybe the biggest negative about a blind school, especially if it's a residential school and your child is living there, they are going to miss out on a lot of family time. And that can be tough, especially depending on age and family dynamics. You know, it can be tough only seeing your kid on weekends and holidays and summers. And especially if there's other siblings involved, you know, that can be a challenge. So I definitely would keep that in mind. I know that the blind school in Indiana has what's called a short course program, which I really enjoyed. It's kind of the best of both worlds. You go to the blind school for 1 week out of every month. That, if that program is still going on, that's totally something I would suggest anyone on the fence looking into, seeing what you think of it. But if you have any just general questions, I'd be more than happy to answer that. And as always, thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment, or you can email me at blynddE1@gmail.com. And thanks for watching.